Hey, everybody.
I just realized I lost
Hello.
my phone. We have a special guest today. You know what? We can't really see you. Hold on.
That's fine. Just keep it where I'm at.
Oh my gosh. Yes, we have a special guest today, Kelly,
Just real
aka
quick.
Kells,
Wait, I see it. Never mind. I figured it out. Hello.
and we're gonna rewatch the Tennessee hearing. And she was there. Kelly was there. I didn't make it this last one, but we figured we get like the whole what happened in the background, the skibbity doo on that.
Skibbity doo. Skibbity doo.
Oh, just
Wackadoodle.
skibbity doo. Yeah.
That cracked me up.
Oh man, I tell you, I've been on my soapbox all morning. I needed a laugh, y'all. It's been tough.
It has. I can't even get away from it. I keep saying I'm going to step away from it, and then
It's on your mind all the
it
time.
is. I can't get it off. I can't. I'm frustrated in so many different ways. Yeah.
Yeah, I
This
mean,
has been rough. This is not what I expected to happen when it came here at all.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a totally different avenue the
It
way it's
is.
going on in
Right.
Tennessee.
The whole time I totally pictured myself speaking, you know what I mean? Like getting my voice heard, and I just had this very powerful statement I was going to make, and they never let me make it. And that there to me there's something wrong with that. That's something, it doesn't seem right. Why is it every other ones that we sit in on, they allow people to speak? Why is it this one won't?
Yeah.
Well, I know why
This
they
one,
won't, because they don't care. They've already made up their mind. At least that particular committee.
because this one
Maybe.
is going in like lightning fast speed, you know.
Right.
And when we all flew in, when we came in on the 11th, I still remember when that hearing ended at 1:30, and everybody, like you said, there was an audible gasp
Mm-hmm.
in the audience when that gavel went down at 1:30.
Mm-hmm.
We were all looking around like, what?
What just
What?
happened? And they did that on purpose. I
It-
guarantee you that was with full of intent. They did that on purpose.
yep.
They did. They did. And there was a gasp too at this last meeting when he made the statement about the kids saying that it was worse than crack.
I'm gonna
Everybody
have
on
to
our
listen to
side,
that
like
one.
they were like, what? Like speaking, which you're not supposed to really do, but we were all like, what? Like that is the most craziest statement I've heard to date.
And then when the hearing was done, were people clapping?
No.
I swore I heard claps.
No, it was busy. It looked like there was a union thing going on because there was a whole big group of guys with like their yellow safety jackets on. So I think it might have been like a union thing, and then something to do with parents and schooling. So it was a packed house. People were waiting up for us to leave in order to get in.
I'm
Because
gonna
I'm like,
tag you on Facebook, Kelly. Is
okay,
that cool?
yeah,
And
That's
let
how
for
me
it
sure.
was when we were there on the 11th. And when it was done, then all of a sudden the room is starting to fill up with like middle school kids.
I
Yeah,
noticed
like
that
they
they
were in
do
a
a lot of field trips there because there were a couple kids in there. And then at the beginning of the meeting, they called out a couple kids that were there on like a follow, like they were homeschoolers that were following people for a homeschool thing. And they
yeah,
were,
I told my youngest here, I was like, I wish I could take him with me. Like, I wish I could just be like, you know what, we're gonna play hooky and go see
well,
the legislative process in real life type of thing. But
Charlie May's spring break is coming up, so she will be with me. So
oh, that's cool.
I got to bring her with me. I have no other choice but to bring
This
her
was
with me. And
spring
yeah,
break this week, and
yeah,
that's another thing that like was killing me because I'm like, man, this would be the perfect time to take. But I
right,
mean, I
right,
just physically could not. I
right.
couldn't.
I want them to see me with my daughter too, because
Yep.
the way my sister, who's in Michigan, and I'm so focused on Tennessee right now that I will admit that I'm kind of backing up, but I do need to get the information from Michigan for my sister.
Yes, you do. Yes, you
I
do.
do, because
Yeah.
she's a Michigan resident.
What happened in Michigan is actually worse than what's happening in Tennessee.
Right,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
didn't they, I don't know the term, but didn't they skip the House and went straight to Senate? Is that what happened?
They went straight to the floor.
Yeah,
Oh,
they didn't have any subcommittee things or anything. It went
nothing.
straight to the floor.
And they're like, I don't know. I wish I knew more of the process because I feel like, are they allowed to do that?
It's got to be some legal ass loophole. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be something like that because they're
I
all a
have no
bunch of
idea.
damn
I don't
lawyers.
know if you guys have ever been to Michigan, but I will tell you, the place smells like a dispensary. There are dispensaries on every corner, and there are liquor stores literally everywhere.
Sounds like Colorado.
In fact, my sister took my mom to a smoke shop recently, and she was like, "Oh, Kelly," because my sister's so drug naive, and she was like, "Look, it's like peach whipped cream," and I was like, "Sister, that's nitrous. They're selling nitrous in their smoke shops, and you guys are worried about kratom?"
This is what I'm saying. How come there isn't like a smoke shops union or something? Why isn't
Yeah.
America going around and wiping out all the bad stuff in the smoke shops? Because when I go to the Champ Show, nitrous is there. It's in these big
Yeah.
old freaking
Are you serious? Yeah,
posters.
the big fancy kid looking. It'll
Yeah.
be like peaches and cream and strawberry
Yep.
cheesecake and all these. Nobody who is making whipped cream goes to the smoke shop. Everybody knows
Yeah.
what it's for.
Y'all, I
And
used to
not
have
to
to go to
mention
the
that, but
porn shop back in my day to get the Whippet crackers.
yes, yep, girl, I remember those days too. Now you can just walk into your local smoke shop and you can buy so many different things that are so harmful, but they've honed in on this, and I know why they honed in on it.
Yeah.
It's a money grab. There's a big agenda behind it, a
It's
huge
all
agenda.
about money. It's like they
It's all about
front it
money.
as they care about people, but like even we know, I mean, there's always money. Even if you don't see it, a lot of these things are, the lawsuits and stuff like that.
It's
Oh,
all tied to
hey,
money.
I'm so sorry. I just realized that I didn't have the comments about shuffle Tennessee weather.
I think I have where the comments are on where I can see them. I don't know.
Oh shoot. I don't know if you can or not.
I think I
See what
can. I think
I
I
don't
can.
know, honestly.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You are Kelly. Are you Kelly? Kel's 555 on X.
Yeah, that's her.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Just want to make sure before I tag some random lady named
I
Kelly.
don't really use X. So I need to because it seems like the only one that's not censored so bad.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. It's
I just need to learn how to use it.
all right. I'm done sharing whenever you want to. I feel like I interrupted someone, and I want to apologize. I don't know which one. I just sitting over here trying to.
I don't even know. This is a live. Anything can happen. Okay. All right, we're gonna play the hearing that happened on March 18th in Tennessee. We're gonna replay it. So,
it's gonna be tough.
yeah,
I know it is tough. It's a tough
I
watch.
want you to get pissed off.
Yes.
Has everyone voted? Everyone wants to change their vote. All right, Madam Clerk, take the vote.
Okay,
Did it started out at the right place?
Mr. Chair, you have 13 ayes, 0 noes, and 2 present not voting.
Very good. House Bill 2270 as amended is moving to Finance, Ways and Means. Good luck in that committee.
This
Thank
is
you,
when
Mr. Chairman.
Johnson did the
Very
whole
good. All right,
Ooh.
moving on. All right. Members, if without objection, let's move to item 6. That's House Bill 1649. Ma'am, you got a motion and a second, and I don't see any amendments on this bill. You are properly recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Today, I'm presenting House Bill 1649 to ban kratom in all forms in Tennessee. Last year, we passed HJR 147 with bipartisan support to ban or regulate kratom. Kratom is a tropical tree native to Southeast Asia. In the United States, it's sold as fresh leaves, dried powder, capsules, tablets, extracts, and concentrated shots. Kratom contains compounds that activate opioid receptors in the brain, metrogenine and 7-hydroxymetrogenine, and is often referred to as gas station heroin. It can be 13 times stronger than morphine. At low doses, it has stimulant-like effects. At higher doses, it has sedative, opioid-like effects. This bill addresses the growing public health and safety concerns surrounding kratom. Often marketed as a natural supplement, but natural does not mean safe. The FDA maintains firm stance against the use of kratom, natural and synthetic, stating it is not safe and has no approved medical use and carries significant risk. The Center for Disease Control states that kratom is an emerging health threat for potential
What'd you do?
overdoses,
Oh my
addiction, and
God.
contamination. The Drug Enforcement Agency lists kratom as a drug and
I don't
chemical
even
of
know what I
concern
did,
with
y'all.
potential of abuse and safety risk. The total ban is supported by Tennessee Medical Association, Tennessee Association of Alcohol, Drug, and Other Addiction Services, the TBI, the Sheriff's Association, Chiefs of Police, Tennessee Fuel and Convenience Store Association, and the Foundation for Drug Policy Solutions. This bill does 6 things. It prohibits the sale and distribution of kratom, metrogenine, 7-hydroxymetrogenine, and all derivatives in Tennessee. It establishes criminal penalties and strengthens oversight. It strengthens death investigations by requiring a county medical examiner to test for the presence of kratom during an autopsy when the suspected cause of death is a drug overdose. It expands toxicology testing in medical settings, requiring physicians who order toxicology testing for suspected drug overdoses or suspected neonatal abstinence syndrome to include testings for the presence of kratom. It updates workplace drug policy, requiring the Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce Development to promulgate a rule adding kratom to the definition of a drug. And number 6, it designates this act as Matthew Davenport's law, effective date July 1st, 2026. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Very good. And thank you for that explanation. Members, we have testimony on this bill. We want to go ahead and go out of session and hear from our guests. Any objection? All right, seeing none. We're going to go out of session and hear from Karen Davenport. I have Nicholas Conley, Matthew Bruin, and also if we could bring up Jack Henningfield, Heidi Sikora, and Sheldon Bradshaw. Very good. And what we'll do, we'll start down here with you, ma'am, and we'll work our way this direction to my right, your left. Each of you just introduce yourself. You'll have 3 minutes to say what you need to say. And then once everybody's finished with that, we'll open it up for questions for the committee. So you'll know your microphone's on when the little red light comes on there, and you'll have 3 minutes. So you're properly recognized.
Chairman and members of committee, thank you for allowing me to speak today. I'm Karen Davenport. I'm a nurse practitioner, a mother, and a grandmother, and I'm here today because my 27-year-old son, Matthew Davenport, died unexpectedly 2 years ago today. On this very day at 5:30 in the morning, we got the call that no parent wants to receive. Matthew was one of my twins. He was kind and thoughtful, and a young man who struggled with anxiety and depression. He was working hard to rebuild his life after overcoming alcohol addiction. He was living in a sober home and actively continuing with his recovery. As a nurse practitioner, I believe that I understood the risks my sons might face, but I never heard of kratom until the day we lost him. Like many families, we did not realize the risk because kratom is often marketed and sold as a safe, natural product. Matthew was found unresponsive in his bed, and despite attempts to revive him, he could not be saved.
Can I
The
say something
Hamilton
real
County
quick?
Medical Examiner determined that Matthew died from intoxication involving
Business.
prescription diphenhydramine, duloxetine, Cymbalta, buspirone, and a dietary supplement called metrogenine.
All right,
I just
sorry.
wanted to say really quickly that I just thought of this, hearing her say she's a nurse practitioner and
Mhm.
she had never heard of kratom until her son. So if it is so bad and it's killing so many people and there's so many people addicted, why did you never hear about that until your son? Right?
Yeah,
You see what I'm
you
saying?
got a
Like, what?
point.
If it was so bad, if you're a nurse practitioner, you're seeing patients. Wouldn't multiple patients have said that they had a problem, but she'd never heard of it? I just had to say that. Watching her I do sympathize with her losing her
Yeah.
son. I do. Her twin son. That's horrible. But yeah, go ahead and push play. This, yeah,
Yeah, but
sorry.
it's like, again, like emotions shouldn't
This
set
should not
policy.
dictate policy.
Yeah,
Absolutely. No.
period.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The manner of death was ruled as an accident. The mitragedy we found in Matt's car was sent to the University of Florida and analyzed by Dr. Christopher McCurdy, finding it to be pure leaf kratom, the primary active compound found in kratom. It was one of the substances involved in the fatal intoxication. Kratom is marketed, of course, as a natural supplement and sold openly in convenience stores across our communities, yet its primary compounds have the same effect on the opioid receptors in the brain and can act dangerously with other medications. Matthew was a young man in recovery who was trying to rebuild his future. It's such a paradox that kratom is illegal to import into the United States, yet this substance is sold openly in convenience stores on every corner and in vape shops. It became part of the combination of drugs that ended my son's life. Nothing this committee does today will bring my son Matthew back, but what you do here today may determine whether another Tennessee family has to experience the same loss. Thank you for listening.
Did I freeze up? Did I freeze up, ladies? Because I don't hear anything. I think I froze.
Dude,
Oh, there we go.
did I cause this? Oh, I'm sorry, Missy, you're on mute. Hold on.
Oh my God, no. I paused it. Was I mute the whole time?
Yeah.
I think you
Damn it.
were.
Damn it. No, I was saying, what did I say? I said, how is it that, it's a combination of drugs that killed her son, but this bill is solely directed at kratom and kratom only?
Exactly. Exactly.
And it's like, not only is it directed at kratom, but it's literally putting people in jail
Yeah.
for just possessing kratom. Like
Right.
I mean, this is a heavy duty bill. This is not like, some little, I mean, this is going to affect millions of lives. This is going to affect, Tennessee, just like budget, I guess is what you could say, like, the money.
The fiscal.
There you go. I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to affect a bunch of stuff. And
Tiffany told I'm comfortable saying this because she's saying it herself, but she told the assistant, herself and her small little business pays $40,000 a year in her taxes.
wow.
And they're going to
Huh.
push her into Kentucky. If she can't stay open, if this pushes, she's going to move her store to Kentucky.
Yeah.
And that's just her. And her store is a smaller, cute little store. Think about the other ones. Like,
Exactly.
But why isn't she suing Benadryl? Why isn't she suing the
that's what I'm
people
saying.
and
Why doesn't she bring awareness to Benadryl
I'll
dangers?
tell you why. Because you can't squeeze blood out of a turnip. That's why,
Right.
how we always
Right.
hear like, oh, they're not suing big alcohol. That's because big alcohol has been sued so many times. They're like tenfold on all the, like their stuff is, their bowl is sealed. Like,
Yeah.
like you'd have to really, but also it just also goes back to like, because it's on the fucking label. Like,
And then now that like what we watched in Idaho, they talk about the warnings on the label. Like now they get mad that the warnings are on the label.
yeah.
And they
Which is the
think that because
same
the
warning. It's the same warning that any vitamin or supplement you buy has the same exact warning on it.
Dude, I agree with Laura. She said, I always
Laura?
wonder what the deceased would say about kratom if they could.
I've always said if I pass away, I want my loved ones to make sure that nobody says it was from kratom. Y'all better fight and say, you got me on record right now saying it, actually.
Yeah.
If anything happens to me, God forbid, pull this up. It was not kratom.
Yeah, I've posted that multiple times. I feel like the loved ones are just rolling in their graves like a rotisserie chicken.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I'll go back to play it.
It's so hard to hear.
And thank you. Sir, if you would introduce yourself, you have 3 minutes.
Sure. Good afternoon. My name is Nick Conley. I'm a physician, board certified with family practice and with addiction medicine, also holding degrees of fellow in the American Society of Addiction Medicine and the American Academy of Family Practice. I'm medical director at Apex Recovery, which is a multi-center inpatient and outpatient, seeing approximately 120 folks a day. I did want to take time this afternoon to talk to you about kratom and about mirtazapine. We are seeing a distinct uptick in the amount of
can't even say it
kratom
right.
treatment that is coming through our facility, both solo kratom and kratom combined with other substances. Did want to take a point to kind of hit a little bit on what does make kratom unique. We do see interaction with opioid receptors, also interaction with dopamine receptors. This does create a rather unique withdrawal profile that does take a bespoke way of treatment. So traditionally what we've used for fentanyl is not comprehensive enough to cover all withdrawal that we're seeing. In addition, the cytokine P450 pathway, not to get too much into biochem lecture on it, but your body has certain enzymes that is able to metabolize different chemicals in the body. Way to think about this, if I handed y'all a flat pack from IKEA, you could put together the chair, no issue. If I gave you 5 of them, you're gonna have to choose which one you go to first. And that allows the other ones to start to ramp up or kind of overflow. And that's one thing that we're seeing with this, particularly Benadryl, the diphenhydramine, also duloxetine are metabolized through the cytochrome P450 pathway. So by utilizing kratom, natural, synthetic, doesn't matter, we are seeing those bits increase. In addition, the other thing we're really seeing about this is lack of almost consent or knowledge of what's happening with this. Again and again, I'm getting from patients, I didn't know. I thought it was natural. I thought it was supposed to be safe. Isn't this better than ibuprofen? But yet, stop using, delay in use, and we're starting to get into horrible withdrawal symptoms that we're then having to treat and engage with. We're seeing folks losing time at work. In some cases, a urine drug screen at work wasn't positive, and unknowingly, I was using a substance I didn't know. Now we're engaging in treatment. And so this is harming real Tennesseans on a daily basis and at an increased rate. So with all that combined, here today to really encourage passing of this so that we can get this stuff out of our state. Thank you for your time.
You know what? I want to say, what do they give the patients when they're withdrawing from Suboxone?
That's a good question.
Well, probably the same thing they give you when you're withdrawing off of Fent and anything else, which is Ativan and that blood pressure medication that lowers.
Clonidine?
But typically in a rehab center, you're not going to see people trying to get off Suboxone. That's an unheard thing to me. I never met somebody who went to rehab to get off of it because they're just going to put you back on it. They're going to be like, here's the Sublocade shot. That'll work a lot better for you.
Oh yeah, they are pushing that.
They pushed that shot so bad. It had just came out when I first got into rehab, and I told them, no, I'm not going to rehab to leave on drugs. I respect anybody on Suboxone that needs it to live. I have great respect for you, but for myself,
Right.
I didn't want to be. I'd already been the Suboxone route. It didn't work. I wanted to do it on my own terms. But they're going to push that. I'm sending him an email. And another thing I'm going to do is make it my life mission to destroy him and let everybody in the recovery community know. Do not send your children. Don't send your loved ones. Don't send anybody to that man because everything he just spewed is a huge lie. He knows it is. It goes against the science. So if he's willing to do that, that means he is doing this for money. It is solely money. He does not care about your loved ones. He doesn't. And that happens a lot in the recovery community.
Yeah.
He is lying. And he is speaking so much gibberish. No wonder that guy was confused. I didn't even realize how much gibberish he was speaking. Like, what are you even saying right now?
Yeah.
It literally makes no sense. And what are you talking about? Naloxone and all that won't work. Of course it won't work. It's not an opioid. Of course it won't work. If you're so ignorant to make that statement, you have no place in the recovery
Did you see
community.
those headlines after the last hearing or whatever? It was like, I can't remember. Well, I can't remember exactly how it was worded, but it was like,
it was something about Narcan not working on him.
I was trying to think. I've totally blanked. Yeah, but it was like Narcan may not work on kratom all the time. You know, like it's some kind of horrible thing, and it's like, yeah, it's not going to work on kratom. Duh.
Yeah,
it might work on 7-OH.
That would be like, I drank way too many Red Bulls. I need a Narcan shot to bring me out of that, please.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not going to do anything because it doesn't work on the same pathways. So that man is just spewing nothing but lies, or like I like to call it now, willful ignorance. He's
Yeah.
only
Or
read
he
a couple of
talks about
headlines, and that's
708.
what he's regurgitating. You know what I mean? He hasn't taken the time to learn. And that is scary as hell in a recovery community. That is so scary. I know predators like him. They preyed on
Yes.
me the whole time I was in recovery. They're predators. They want your money. It's big
Mhm.
money for rehab. It'll be big money when a bunch of people are needing to go there because they don't have their, I hate to word it like that, because I don't feel like if you're coming off pure leaf kratom, you'll be fine. You are going to be
Yeah.
absolutely, you might be slightly uncomfortable, but you're not going to be shitting yourself.
Yeah.
You're not going to, sorry, excuse me, you're not going to be like vomiting and wishing for pure death. You're just going to be a little uncomfortable, a little restless.
But I mean,
No,
when you're
Laura
going through
Benning,
rehab, go ahead.
Oh my
Laura Benning kratom would be massive business for the addiction community.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Because
And you know
nobody
what?
wants to be
I
uncomfortable.
think he's conflating kratom with 708.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Absolutely. Yep.
I guess.
I mean, that's like, but yeah, I mean, when you're going into rehab, like you are at your most vulnerable, and those people
And
are
they take
sharp.
advantage of you. And I watched it. And the reason why I was kicked out of like 6 different rehabs while I was there is because I was the only adult. I was the oldest one. It was a bunch of kids in their 20s on their parents' insurance. They didn't care what was happening, but I was alert and aware, and I brought it up. And to them, that was a problem. So they'd make up some reason for me to go.
Yeah.
I've seen TikTok videos of, pretty much like their predatory behaviors, and
Oh, it's
they're
horrible.
body brokering. The body
Yeah.
broker.
Yep.
Some of the people that are working there, like they'll have your house attendants, would be like 2-3 months sober. Why do you have people that just got sober working with current addicts? Like none of it made sense. It was just, in California, you could throw a rock. You could literally stand in any neighborhood, throw a rock, and you'd hit a sober living. There's so much money. My
Yeah.
recovery cost $1 million. Of course, we didn't pay that, but insurance. We had a kid there that his cost $2 million. It's a big
Oh my
business.
gosh.
It's
And
a
that's for one
big
person.
business. It's huge. And they own these big mansions, and they put you up in these, I could go on and on about it. It's horrible.
Well, the place this dude's in is Brentwood, so it's in the fancy
Oh yeah.
place in Nashville, the rich folks
Right, because
area.
that's how they get you in. They get you
Yep.
in by like, oh, look at this luxury place. We have a pool. We have a spa. And we fell for it. We did. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, that looks nice. I can do that place, without doing the real research of who is running it. What is their program like? And, I'm like anybody else. Shiny glitter. I want
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? But in reality, you need to make sure that people like him are not running where you're going to go, where you're going to send your loved ones to, because that is dangerous. And so
Yeah.
many people die at the hands of people like him.
And
If
for all we
somebody,
know,
if
he's not
somebody
even like
ran, I'm sorry,
practicing.
if somebody ran from the rehab, they didn't care. They're like, oh, so-and-so's gone. No follow-up, no police call, no nothing. It was just an open bed for them to bring the new person
Yeah.
in.
Yep.
And that was so scary to me. I'm like, what do you mean you're not calling anybody? Like, shouldn't we be doing something? They don't
that's
care.
just insane. Like
It is.
it's just, and then you have him coming in as an expert witness. Just
He's
because
not
you're
an
in a
expert.
fancy dancy place and your place brings in a lot of money does not make you an
That's
expert.
okay, because my new
know?
life mission will be to make sure that I taint his name in the community, because I am in a recovery community, and I'll make sure I taint his name. Real quick, you guys, I want to tell you this. I am in front of, I do not remember his name, but we had lunch with him at the hot dog place.
Oh, Keith.
What is it?
Keith.
Keith. I'm sitting outside his smoke shop. I'm going to walk in here in a few minutes.
Okay.
I wanted to go check it out and see what it was all about.
Oh, well, he may not be in there, but if he is, we'll say hi to him.
Yeah, right. He had said that if he wasn't there, to have his employees call. I won't do all that. I was just curious.
Well, you can always mute it. We don't,
Yeah, just mute it. Okay, I'm gonna go back to play.
Okay.
Thank you. And you're next, sir. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here today, speak to the committee, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Matthew Bruin. I'm a psychotherapist and an addiction specialist, PhD. I'm also the principal and CEO of Apex Recovery. Apex Recovery is a proud member of Tennessee. We serve men and women across the state who have issues with mental health as well as substance use disorder, which is why I'm here today, because this issue is an increasing one within our census and something that I'm very passionate about. I'm in a unique experience because you all have adopted me into your fine state. I've been here for 5 years, and I absolutely love Tennessee. It's the best place I've ever lived. I hail from Colorado originally and then came by Southern California for 23 years. I like to think of that time I was in exile. What I can tell you is both of my previous 2 states had similar things in common, and that is the legalization of marijuana and cannabis. I have lived my life through situations like we find ourselves today here in the state of Tennessee. What starts as a relatively benign small item quickly grows and expands until there are devastating issues that go across the state. And I would like to not see that repeat here in the state of Tennessee. You'll hear some arguments today, 2 of them being that somehow Kratom leaf differs from 7-OH. I want to assure everyone that the distillation process and the synthesization process is no different from cocaine to crack or from hashish to cannabis. Cannabis at one point had 3 to 5% THC content. Today, there are places in this country that have legalized 90 to 95% amounts. We're seeing that same thing with Kratom. Finally, I want to touch base just from a personal level. I want to tell you 2 quick patient stories.
That's not Kratom, though. That is not Kratom. That is 7-OH.
And he knows that. He knows that.
No different. Oh God.
Oh, it gets better, you guys. Wait until the comment he's about to make. Be sitting down for the comment he's about to make. I'm telling you, because you're going to fall out.
I already feel my blood pressure rising.
Girl, when I was in there, my blood pressure, I was like, ooh, we were all like, ooh. And when he makes this comment, you might even be able to hear us in the background because everybody was like, what?
I think this dude has a spray tan. And I guarantee you he's one of those dudes that don't wear socks with his dress.
I'm telling you guys, private investigator fundraiser. We are going to do it and we are going to investigate because I can tell you he's on the naughty list and I know that for facts. He's on the naughty list. Watch. They want to play. We'll play.
He's a pro. He's a pro expert witness.
Yeah, throw me in jail for whatever they want to do because I don't care. I mean, I don't know if they can for slander, but
well, as long as your slander is correct, you won't.
And it is correct. I can prove with facts what they're saying is so incorrect. Yes. Why all of a sudden is this little Apex Recovery in Tennessee so much smarter than all the researchers, all the data, all the scientists, all the people who take it responsibility?
People that have been doing research for over 2 decades.
Right. But he's, from Apex. So his word's gold. Please. He's worse than a car salesman. They're sleazier than a car salesman.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going back to play.
One about a man who lost his wife and family who was ingesting 5 big gulp glasses of, loose leaf kratom daily. It is extremely addictive. And finally, I'm joined in the back row by my beautiful wife and daughter. My daughter had a individual who actually went to her school for a short period of time and happened to find his way into my rehab center just several weeks ago. He told me and asked me to tell you guys that as a individual who started smoking crack cocaine at age 13 years old, the most high he has ever been is on kratom. That young man has done every drug in the arsenal, and that was his comment. So I ask you all to
do what?
I could not with that comment. I wanted to.
Are you
as somebody who has actually done that? Yeah, no, not even close. At this point, I'm shaking my picture in the background at this point, and I think this is the point where the deputy guy comes over and tells me I can't hold it so high. He said, you can hold it, but you got to lower it a little bit. It's like,
He's taking bags and bags a day. He saw a picture now. He's saying multiple bags of big gulps. Yeah.
multiple
Yeah.
bags of big gulps. And like I said earlier, you guys, if you're doing that, you're chasing something that's not even there.
Yeah.
It's
And
not
that
there.
kid,
What
that
are you
kid he's
looking
talking
for?
about, he was obviously, if he started smoking crack and stuff at 13, was getting sold some bunk ass crack, because that is
Yeah,
not true.
right.
Even if it was like the most pure 7OH in the world, it is not going to get you
There's
higher than
no
crack
way.
or fucking meth or cocaine.
If it
or
was
whatever.
a substance that offered any kind of euphoria, like any of these drugs they're mentioning, I would be on it like crazy. I got bags of it laying around in my truck right now. You know what I mean? Like it.
Yeah.
That comment sent
Insane.
me reeling. My blood
Like,
pressure at that point went like I almost blacked out.
for as long as it's been in the United States, like, say, let's just say, if it has been, I know it's been much longer than 10 years, but let's just say it's been 10 years, there would be mass hysteria.
Yep.
People would be like, you see all those videos of people like, passed out, nodding
Right.
off on the street
Doing
and
the finny
shit.
fold. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like that everywhere. Get the hell out of
Yeah.
here, man.
Yeah, it would be. And the reason why we're just now seeing it it's 7OH. Like, why don't they want to deal with the real problem? Because I've said this before. If 7OH and those kind of products have ingredients, kratom does not have ingredients. It has alkaloids. Once they take away kratom, the smoke shop or whoever creates the stuff will come out with a new thing. Something will replace it, 100% guaranteed, just like with spice and everything else.
Yeah.
But there is nothing that can replace pure leaf kratom. It's
Right.
going to go away because it doesn't have ingredients. So they can't be like, oh, here, let me alter this a little bit. That way we can sell it now. No, but they're going to have another chemical substance that they're going to do that with.
It's already happening with 7OH being taken away. They're ahead of the game.
Yeah, because I've seen like
game for them, and they're already ahead of that. When 7OH started being, when the government did their release last year in July, the press conference, these 7OH drug dealers are already one step ahead of the government. They've created the MGM-15, the MGM-16. They created pseudodoxil. And anytime someone comments that on my TikToks, I say that is faker than 7OH.
Right, it is. Yep. I remember in Washington where I lived that they would ban spice. It would always pass. But then what these companies would do is they would change one ingredient because the law only passed to ban this product, right? So if they change a couple ingredients, it's no longer that product. They weren't addressing like one certain ingredient. And so all they did was change it and then rebrand it. It's still there, but you won't be able to do that with pure leaf because pure leaf is just that. It's a pure botanical product or leaf. It's not even a product. God made it. It's from the earth.
Yeah, it's not man-made.
Right.
Okay, I don't know where Jen went. All right, I'll go back to play.
Would you all want your sons and daughters to use this legally?
Yeah.
Thank
if
you
they
for
were
all
in
your
pain,
time.
yeah.
I've offered it to my adult children.
Right.
You're next, sir. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jack Henningfield. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, at Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine, formerly with the National Institute on Drug Abuse. I'm trained in addiction science, been doing that for 50 years. I recently published a book, an authoritative text on kratom science, probably the only one in this room that's actually done science with 7-hydroxy and kratom in clinical studies in animals. I want to make a factual correction. There is a big difference between natural kratom, which contains almost no 7-hydroxy, and synthetic 7-hydroxy. And 7-hydroxy can be 13 times more strong on certain measures than morphine, not kratom. And I've done the research, and there's lots of research, mostly supported by the National Institute on Drug Abuse. I'm really sorry about the death. Any son, any child, that's the worst thing in the world. But what we need to reduce deaths across the board is regulation, not prohibition and criminalizing kratom users. of which there are about 500,000 in Tennessee. I'm in agreement with the FDA and the Secretary of Health, who in July released a report saying 7-hydroxy is a serious problem. It has opioid effects. We can call it an opioid. By the same criteria, kratom does not. And I've done my reports submitted to the FDA and DEA, and I concur with them. And the Secretary and FDA Commissioner also said 7-hydroxy is the problem. They said our concern is not kratom. And they sent a letter to colleagues across the nation stating that fact. You can get my report, you can get the FDA report, and the FDA report will verify everything that I am telling you today. So most overdose deaths in this country are polypharmacy. The medical examiner did not say it was a kratom death that happened to Mr. Carpenter. They list several drugs
Had the wrong
that
last
were in
name.
the system.
You did.
The other drugs are the most likely cause of death. FDA's own statement on kratom lethality risk is, and I quote, deaths associated with kratom are rare and generally involve other substances. And right now we've got more than 20 million people using kratom. To illustrate their point, the FDA Commissioner and Secretary Kennedy included a chronic pain patient on their panel. And they wanted to make the point that even this is not an approved drug, people like her use it on a daily basis to manage pain, in some cases treating addiction. And that's what my colleagues are studying at Hopkins, and the National Institute on Drug Abuse is studying. How do we treat addiction? The most recent study that was another study just on that. So there's a big difference. I'm going to quote the FDA Commissioner. There is a world of difference between kratom and 7-hydroxy. So please take action, make regulations, ban 7-hydroxy as 19 other states have done.
Thank you, sir. That's all the time you have. Ma'am, you're recognized.
Thank you so much. Chairman Farmer and members of the committee, I really appreciate the opportunity to speak to you today. My name is Dr. Heidi Sikora. I'm a doctor of nursing practice, retired nurse practitioner, and healthcare executive. I volunteer as the Chief Scientific Officer for the International Plant and Herbal Alliance. I want to begin by expressing my condolences to the Davenport family. Losing an adult child is a loss no parent should have to endure. Honoring Matthew's life requires that we tell the truth about what happened to him. The official Hamilton County Medical Examiner's report lists diphenhydramine, also known as Benadryl, mitragynine or mitragynine in kratom leaf, duloxetine, and buspirone intoxication. Mitragynine or mitragynine, the primary alkaloid in the natural kratom leaf, was included in the list of substances, but was not listed as the cause of death. The report did not identify the primary cause of death, except to say that it was intoxication by the multiple substances. The toxicology level tells the story clearly. The diphenhydramine or Benadryl level was 3,000 nanograms per milliliter. That level alone is a fatal level. So if he had no other substances in his system and had that level, it could have led to his death. Duloxetine and buspirone were also markedly elevated. These medications cause serious interactions, not just additive, but they actually multiply the interaction. And they can cause fatal central nervous system depression, cardiac arrhythmia, and serotonin toxicity. The manner of death was ruled accidental, not poisoning by kratom. There is no known mechanism by which kratom leaf causes sudden death in humans, and this case does not establish one. I know it's not the Davenport's family intention to harm anybody or use Matthew's memory in that way, but that will be the outcome if a ban is passed. People like Jennifer Gillis would be hurt the most. She traveled here twice from Memphis But her transverse myelitis, which causes spinal cord inflammation, if you can imagine that type of pain, does not allow her to travel a third time here to speak. The medications available to her cause sedation and actual gait instability. Those are risks that she just cannot take. Natural kratom is the only option that she can tolerate that helps her function safely. A ban would remove the one tool she has left. A ban, HB1649 would ban the plant itself, harming thousands, tens of thousands of Tennesseans who benefit from kratom for stability, pain relief, and maintaining sobriety.
Thank you, ma'am. That's all the time you have, and appreciate
I
your testimony there.
appreciate you.
Sir, you're
Thank
recognized.
That
Thank
was
you.
so nice of her to be my voice because she knew I was so upset about not being.
I know,
mean,
when she did, I was like,
yeah. I like
yes.
the voice for just like, when I testify anywhere, it's like, that's the reason I do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For all the people that are affected that don't know what's going on or is not there. But I was just super cool. I mean, I was really nice.
I love
Thank
that.
you,
I was
Heidi.
nice. And it was to send home a point too, that somebody who they think is on these drugs that are so bad does not make trips like that to go
Yeah.
try and speak in front of them. That's not
Yeah.
that
You
type
don't
of
make
behavior.
a 4 to 6 hour drive high as
Right.
shit.
Oh my
And
Right.
God,
then,
Jennifer, talk about your drive home.
oh my God. And then, the drive home, oh my God, it was raining so like I haven't
It was
driven
bad.
in that kind of weather in probably since I was in my 30s. And
We were
I'm talking
so
about
worried about you.
I was scared. At first I was like really stubborn. And I'm like, I'm doing this anyway, but then I was like, I don't want to die from my stubbornness. I mean, it was scary, and it was dark and, but I mean, my thing is like, if I'm able to physically do it and I'm able to do it, rearrange my life a little bit, I'm going to do it. This is my state and I'm going to show
Right.
out.
Right.
I mean,
You
I
go-
have degenerative disc disease in my back and my hips, right?
Mhm.
And just me sitting on a 2.5 hour plane ride,
Yeah.
to get there.
Well, packing, walking. I mean, when you're disabled, when you have a chronic illness or, just chronic pain in general, that shit, I mean, you're not like a normie walking around bebopping and, you struggle even though we have kratom, even though I have kratom to manage my chronic pain, we still have things in our lives that don't make us perfect.
Yeah.
You know what
Right.
I'm
Well,
saying?
and it won't take it 100% away. Nothing takes
Right.
pain. Not even narcotics take pain 100%
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
It just makes it more doable.
Terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you're going to make us all suffer. I don't know. If my child passed away, I definitely wouldn't want their namesake covered,
Yeah.
making thousands of people suffer. I wouldn't want that. She has to
I would
hear
do
us.
something more positive with
Right.
my,
'Cause she hears us. She hears what we're saying what Heidi just said about what it's going to do to people, and that she's sure she doesn't have the intent to do that. I'm sorry. I'm going to disagree with Heidi. Heidi's such a sweetheart. I think she does have intent to do that. And at the
Well,
very
as
end,
a
Heidi
nurse-
said she's right there because Karen was standing over here and she was like, you could go talk to her. And I said, Heidi, I can't. I'm not that recovered. I'm like at 80%. If I was at 100, maybe, but I might not be saying things I want to say because to even look at her upsets me so much. And I know that she's probably Christian too. And I'm just going to quote what my mama always said, and that's that God does not like ugly. And she is being ugly.
She is Christian.
Yeah, well, God don't like ugly, Karen. If y'all watching this, he don't like that. And you're being ugly. You're taking away something he created. So you just keep that on your heart every night when you say your prayers.
Yeah. And like I was saying, 2.5 hour plane ride, and I'm all, because I'm a big girl, but I'm all smushed in the plane seat, So when I go to stand up, I'm like, oh man, I got to do it slow,
Right.
And then you got to walk through the damn airports.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Thank God for my Ed, because he knows me well enough to stand up before me and put his hand out. Even my daughter's picked up on that now. She starts holding her hand out because mama can't just bounce up. It takes a second sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing of it is that if Jen was on the narcotics, there's no way in hell she would have been able to drive the 4
No,
hours.
nope.
Not at all.
They could have gotten her for a DUI. Like I got a DUI. You know, I was
Right.
high on my narcotics.
And I mean, I'll be honest, like if I was going to be doing some shit like that, I would have been way overdoing it on the pain. Cause I mean, with it's like, it didn't like, you know, with Kratom, it does like, it naturally takes the pain away without making you feel any different, like mentally, I guess.
Yeah.
So you're not impaired, but it's like
Right.
with pain medicine, it was like I was constantly like, I'm still not feeling better. I'm just gonna keep on and just at least I'll like feel fuzzy in the head, even though
Right.
I'll be in pain, so I can deal with it type of thing.
Right.
You know, so I
But
mean,
Heidi made a good point when she mentioned about how, because you're already unstable. So now if we throw this intoxicating thing, you're going to be even more unstable and have a higher risk at hurting yourself
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you're a little off. You know, your head's a little fuzzy. Kratom does not make you fuzzy in the slightest. It doesn't throw
Right.
my gait off. It doesn't throw anything off. My
No,
pain
it
off, but
doesn't.
that's about it.
Kratom doesn't cloud your judgment
right.
at all. You
If
know?
anything, it may, and I mean, you know, I have a lot of like brain fog and stuff like that that comes with my transverse myelitis, and if anything, it helps it. I mean, you know, don't help it all the way again, but I mean, you know, I'm not just. It's a different feeling. It's like more like you're awake. You're more
Yeah.
awake.
That's what I was
and
going to say.
like,
Like when I take it in the morning, it's kind of like a morning coffee. Like the only thing I feel is like it awakens. I'm now, okay, I'm ready for the day. Let's go. That's all I feel. I don't
yeah,
feel anything else.
yeah, you're
I'm just
not
ready
high.
to go. It's just like, okay, now I'm awake. Let's do this. And I continue to do what my family needs and everything else.
What my family needs.
Right.
Right.
Yep. Okay,
Exactly.
I'm gonna press play and then I have to go pee.
Okay.
So I can't press pause till I come back.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll wait.
Chairman, members of the committee, for the opportunity to be here to testify in opposition to House Bill 1649, which would ban the natural botanical kratom. My name is Sheldon Bradshaw, and I represent Botanicals for Better Health and Wellness. I'm an FDA regulatory attorney and previously served for many years as the Chief Counsel of the United States Food and Drug Administration. The organization I represent advocates for evidence-based regulation of plant-derived products. As a result, the organization fully supports banning 7-hydroxymitragynine, which the state of Tennessee actually already has done, but supports common sense regulations on the natural botanical kratom. Kratom is a botanical in the coffee family that has been safely used for centuries in Southeast Asia and for decades by over 20 million individuals here in the United States. And I also want to echo something Dr. Henningfield noted about the testimony in favor of the bill. It seems to erroneously equate 7-OH and kratom. They're two very different and unique substances. They're not the same. And the safety risks that you raised are solely attributed to 7-hydroxy and are not associated with kratom. Importantly, 7-hydroxy is a synthetic drug. Kratom is a natural botanical. First, the misconception about the two was perpetuated by the 7-OH industry itself, which used vignettes of kratom leaves. They called their products kratom. They called them natural, but that was a canard, and it had three purposes. One, to mislead consumers who thought they were using a natural botanical with a long history of safe use, to falsely suggest that they have the same safety profile, and to shift the blame for adverse events from 7-OH to kratom. Second, when kratom leaves are first harvested, they don't even contain 7-OH. 7-OH only happens post-harvest through oxidation and only in minor trace amounts. But entrepreneur and chemists discovered that if they take mitragynine from the kratom plant and force and expose it to toxic reagents like the ingredients you would find in Drano or pull shark or bleach, those oxidizing chemicals would convert the mitragynine to 7-OH. And so what 7-OH is, rather than the 0.0002% of 7-OH that you would find in post-harvest kratom leaves, it's now 95% or 94% pure 7-OH. They're very different. And I think a simple analogy nicely illustrates the difference between the two. If you took the most common alkaloid in coffee, which is caffeine, extracted it, exposed it to harsh oxidizing agents, turned it into a new chemical entity, no one would call that chemical entity coffee. It's no longer coffee. And the same thing is happening to kratom. The kratom leaf has been safely used for centuries, but bad people are extracting the mitragynine, exposing it to toxic chemicals, and making it deadly poison.
Very good, and thank you for that. Members, any questions for our guests? Representative Johnson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To Dr. Henningfield, do we have enough science currently to guide kratom regulation? Because it seems that what I'm hearing, it does have good uses. There's a difference between the actual botanical and the chemical. So could you speak to, is there science to do the regulation that you all speak of?
I love that. We have a mountain of science, and the reason is the science started in Southeast Asia a couple of decades ago, but the National Institute on Drug Abuse got involved about a decade ago, a little more, because kratom's got a lot of useful alkaloids that look like they could be safer medicines of the future for pain, anxiety. So right now, NIDA has put at this point more than $100 million into kratom research at Johns Hopkins, many universities. The publication rate is now up to 140 publications per year. I'm on a national meeting this Saturday in San Antonio where the keynote session is all on kratom pharmacology and toxicology. So that's why we've got the science to back the regulation. What is the standard for 7-hydroxy? At this point, we're saying no more than 1 to 2% alkaloid. We have science for what should be looked out for in state regulation. Yeah, we've got a mountain of evidence. And you can Google my reports or publications, which list probably 300 or 400 publications just in the last 5 to 6 years.
And so you're not against regulation. I mean, you're not against regulation at all, but you are against banning because of those that can use it for positive reasons.
We need regulation. We need regulation. Nature got it right in the case of kratom. Natural products aren't safe because they're natural. But in the case of coffee and kratom and some others, nature got it pretty close to right. Turning kratom into 7-hydroxy, that's not nature. And we need regulation, just like my father-in-law brought regulation in Tennessee to fireworks and helped save the industry in the 50s.
I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Representative Garrett, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Davenport, I'm so sorry about your loss, but I could follow you. The other 5, I know the 2 of you are for this piece of legislation, the other 3 are not. But you all said so many words in your testimony, I really have no idea what you're talking about. And so there were so many different things that you all had testified to on both sides, right? And my concern is that's the actual concern of either kratom, which how you pronounce it, or kratom, how the rest of you pronounced it. That's an issue, right? Just because of what this thing does. My issue with this is the availability that's already in commerce. It's already here. You're asking for regulation, but you're too late. And so I think that what needs to happen, this needs to probably most likely come off the market. We figure out what it is. If you say there's mounds of research out there, a simple Google search doesn't tell me.
I be forgetting I mute myself. Isn't there already regulation in Tennessee?
There was, but then they got rid of it. From my research was they had it and then they got rid of it. But when did they get rid of it? Like, when was that process that they got rid of it?
It was like somebody brought up a ban bill of some sort. And this was, I'm going to say 3 to 4 years ago. This was right when I started realizing that it was even at risk for being taken, legality wise. And so for some reason, we did have a KCPA enacted at that point in time. This dude came and put in a ban bill, and the ban bill didn't go through, but for some reason, the KCPA was not, I don't know.
Wasn't there, isn't there like a House joint resolution? it's something about the extracts is supposed to be illegal in Tennessee.
Right? Yeah. Because remember, like a long time ago. Oh gosh, this was before we really started talking. I think I messaged you and asked you. Anyway, I think Mac ended up writing you back or something, and you sent me what he said. Oh, that was another thing last year. But I don't know. It's so odd how it happened that literally, I'd have to ask Mac to explain it one more time. Because I mean, it's like so convoluted. But if they would have just left well enough alone. But I mean, there is regulation, but I don't think they consider it a KCPA.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they do either when I looked it up. It's such a simple thing. I don't understand him. Our side was so clear. The only big words that were really used that little small-brained man couldn't understand is maybe mitragynine, like maybe. But the guy from Apex, he said a bunch of stuff. He got a word salad going on there that didn't make no sense. But what our side said made complete. If you can't understand that, Mr. What is it, Garrett?
Yeah.
You might need to start taking some brain vitamins, the ones that the FDA warns you against, because his brain ain't working. He had his mind made up, and he wanted to sound a certain kind of way because he sounds so stupid.
I just said the whole audience groaned when he said that.
Ed says he needs to take Kratom. Maybe he'll be better if he took a little bit.
For me, like, he is representing me.
Mm-hmm.
And for him to sit there and act like he's not smart, because you know how you joke around with people like, I can't even believe what you just said. It's like you're representing me, and you make yourself look like a moron.
After this hearing is done, we're gonna play the edited video that someone in the community put together.
I'm gonna do a little walk into this store real quick while I'm with you guys.
Okay, just pause it.
Yeah, I'll just mute it. Mute it. Yeah. What was his name again, Jen?
Keet, Keet.
Oh, Keet. I thought you were saying Keet.
No, Patel. Keet Patel.
Yeah.
Oh, like Cash Patel.
Yeah, he was so cool to hang out with.
Yeah, it was. It really was.
Okay, mute yourself, girl.
Me what kratom or kratom is. And neither one of you all have said what it actually is. Tylenol, when you go to a gas station, you're obviously going to treat a headache, right? I'm hearing words like morphine, opioids, and things like that, dopamines, and all these words y'all are saying that's usually in a controlled environment that's a very serious side effects to someone walking in to get gas that can get something like this that believes that they're going to cure all their ailments or all their pain. So my question is, what is it? Why is it? And is kratom the end all of everybody's problems that suffer for particular conditions? Or do we have other things available that people can use that's already in the market, that's regulated, that helps? That's, I think, the simple question that neither one of you all have addressed on either side of it. So can one of you from the side that's against it let me know what the response is? Then one of you to the side that's for it, let me know what that response is. Does that make sense? Am I trying to be clear? Because I am very unclear as to what you all are trying to tell this committee.
Wow.
All right.
Who wants to go first?
You want Dr. Henningfield? Would you like to go, or would you like to?
When I talk about kratom, I'm talking about the natural leaf, nothing that's been chemically changed. There are extracts, just like if some people like coffee as an extract, some people like stronger extracts like espresso. That's all kratom. When you chemically manipulate it and have 7-hydroxy, that's no longer kratom. So we've got to draw a line in the sand. The natural leaf, you can define by law and say that kratom products that are allowed on the market should be based on the leaf. That can be powdered, ground, crushed. It can be a simple extract. But in 19 other states, what they've done is say the alkaloid levels should not be boosted. There should be state standards for purity. You want to keep it pure. And then you've got something that the animal and human studies, and I've done both, is safe. 7-hydroxy is not.
All right, very good.
So, love to spend a lot of time trying to get through the individual demystifying of all this, because I understand we talk all this science googly.
Just talk like we all don't have medical degrees
The
up
grown
here.
man with the bow tie said.
No, and I'll say, and it's very interesting, we keep hearing this like kratom versus 7-OH, but kratom is the plant, myrtaginine, 7-OH, myrtaginine are the chemicals in the plant. So it's a bit of a false apples oranges comparison. If you're talking about the entirety of the plant, then you're talking about this thing that, as we heard, yeah, if it's oxidized, if it's allowed to, sit there, it'll have some of it in it, right? 2%, which is still present there. It's not that 7-OH is something that a mustache twirling villain is cooking up in a lab to ruin all of America. It's in the loose leaf version. We're talking about percentages at this point with the back and forth to it.
Word salad.
That's the question we got to decide. Do we want to have this out here where we continue having issues again and again and again?
President Garrett, any follow-up?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Very good. Members, I have Representative Salinas. Ma'am, you're recognized.
Here we go. Somebody that has some.
So I worked in drug discovery for over 10 years, and nature always, usually like 80+% of the time, gets it right. And we spend countless years trying to replicate nature. I mean, Taxol, one of our most important cancer drugs, came from a plant. And the reason why we had to modify it and try to get the drug is because it's small in small percentages, which 7-OH is in small percentages in the kratom plant. Is that correct?
De minimis, meaning that when you measure 7-hydroxy, and many labs, NIDA-supported labs, my old institute, have measured in lots of products, and 7-hydroxy is de minimis in well-made products and in natural leaf. And in Florida, they actually grow their own kratom because they're thinking of that as a new industry. 7-hydroxy, but everything, this water is not distilled
and I would
water.
ask someone to explain
It has
to
a
me
level
why banning this
that's allowed
shit is a bad
for
thing. Let me explain.
contaminants. That's what regulation does. It sets standards. And so we need a standard to make sure that you can't, no matter how much kratom you consumed, you would not get a harmful amount of 7-hydroxy.
This is a serious question, and I would ask someone to explain to me why banning this
President Salinas, any follow-up?
Yeah, and I've heard y'all say multiple times that you're not against regulation on the 7-hydroxy version of the alkaloid, and you didn't bring up this bill, so you didn't have control on what gets in the bill or doesn't get in the bill. Do any of the other alkaloids bind the mu receptor,
to me why
the
banning
opiate
this shit,
mu
meaning
receptor?
kratom,
Yeah, several
is
do.
a bad
and
thing.
mitragynine does, and we call it a partial agonist.
You know you're not on
It has
mute.
a very weak effect. So I did an
Oh my
FDA
God.
model study with
I was like,
rats
okay, she's
where
gonna.
we tried to find this lethal dose of, sorry about this.
Hold on.
Of mitragynine. We pumped as much mitragynine as we
Okay,
Were you doing text, talk to text? Or
hold on.
whatever?
Okay. I was freaking making a TikTok because somebody dropped a stupid ass comment.
Oh, I heard you saying that. I thought you were like going to tell us about it, and you said it like the third time. I'm like, oh, she don't know she's off mute.
No, I mean, because I muted the computer and I, for some reason, thought I was already muted on the restream. My bad, you guys. Anyway, someone has dropped a stupid ass comment, so I'm going to have my community explain to him why banning kratom would be a bad idea. Gotta love these TikTok comments.
God,
Man. I'll tell you what.
I know.
Okay, I'm gonna mute the computer and mute the restream.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
It's all right. It's just a chill Saturday, man.
could.
Slightly disappointed
given
in
the
Keith,
size
sorry.
of the rats. There was no lethal dose. The comparator was oxycodone. Animals in that condition by the FDA recommended doses died. 7-hydroxy, on the other hand, you can kill animals with. And 7-hydroxy has the characteristics that is fueling the opioid epidemic. Powerful brain reward in animals. Again, rats, my favorite animal subject, and people. Mitragynine does not. mitragynine actually reduces animal taking of morphine.
Mhm.
All right. Representative Salinas, any follow-up?
Yeah, no, thank you for that clarification, because I think that dictates the binding affinity of those, the receptor to that molecule dictates everything that happens after. So thank you for clarifying the other alkaloids in comparison to
awful. Like, you
7-OH.
can feel
Yeah,
the energy
and
in the
again, it's
room.
partial. Naloxone
Like,
binds,
these people literally
but
don't
it's
care.
very different from morphine.
Except for those two.
Very good. Members,
Yeah.
anyone else have any questions or comments for our guests? I'll have no one on the list.
Like, they act like they don't
Injections going
even
back
want to
into
be
session.
doing this
All
right
Seeing none, I
now.
appreciate y'all being here.
That's what the
We're back
one
in
guy
session.
was eating his fruit perfect.
On the bill.
Perfect.
All right, members, any questions? I have Chair Lady Littleton. You're on the list.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move a previous question.
Previous question has been called. Any objection? Seeing none. Madam Clerk, you'd open the board. Members will be voting to send House Bill 1649 to Finance, Ways and Means. All those in favor, vote aye. Opposed, vote no. Has every member voted? Would any member wish to change their vote? All right, very good. Madam Clerk, you take the vote.
Mr. Chair, you have 16 ayes, 2 noes, and 1 present not voting.
Very good. House Bill 1649 is moving to Finance, Ways and Means.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee.
Who's clapping?
That does sound like a clap, didn't it? I don't remember
Members, we can
hearing
move to
a
item
clap.
7. That's House Bill 2109.
Yeah, I knew I wasn't tripping.
No, I think you're right there. But that was a clap, but I think that I was just still in kind of like, I don't remember hearing that clap.
Who is that?
Now I got to ask the other people because I don't remember who that was. I was just sitting there just seething because I knew I wasn't going to get a chance to talk. And then after that guy had just made those comments, I was like, you've got to be like, this is not happening. Like all of us, if you could see the back corner, because you know where we sat last time, that back corner, like that whole section was all Kratom supporters. So there were people there that I didn't even know that were Kratom supporters. There was a whole big section of us. And I wish, because like the group in front of us, whatever their bill was, every single one of them had a small sign. It wasn't big. It was a tiny sign with their House bill and how they felt. Every one of them held one. I kind of think when we go back, maybe every one of the supporters, because we're not given the chance to stand, we're not given the chance to say who we are, that maybe we should all have, they were small. It wasn't even the size of a real piece of paper. To have that to show that we are there. Do you see what I'm saying? Like why we're there. They don't know who we are. They don't know why we're there. And to see that there was a group that they all had on the same t-shirts and everything. So just so they can recognize it, it's not just a few of us out here. There's a lot of.
You know what? I could. I got an idea with that. That's a good idea. Wow. I guess I don't know. I have a lot of things I'm thinking about right now.
I've had so many things in my brain that's just so overwhelmed. I'm having a hard time, like focusing on one particular thing.
Just write them
Just
down.
so angry. I cannot tell you how angry I am. And if anybody in Tennessee is in here listening, please, please, please use the power and send in as many emails and make as many phone calls to anybody. It doesn't matter who, like somebody in power. You guys, we have to stand up and show up, because if the voices aren't heard, then it's not going to happen. We need so many voices to be heard right now. So many. You need to call your friends, your family, even if they're in a different state, call them and ask them to sign the petition. Call and ask them. My sister sent in an email on her testimony and how she's seen me on drugs before and how she's seen me on.
You're going in and out. Did she get stuck?
It was gun laws.
Yeah, I saw that one lady sitting there saying,
Is that what was going on that day?
Your Wi-Fi going in and out.
I know. 1 second.
I'm no, but it's like I don't think that's what they were clapping about. I see that other video link on the X. I didn't know if you
I was
had
trying
it.
to look for it.
I didn't know if you had it or not.
But
I'm
yeah,
gonna
I
go
saw
pee
that
real
one chick
quick.
in the back sitting there. I think said Doctors for Gun Safety or something like that. So there's probably some sort of gun something on the docket that day.
I seen something for schools and then a bunch of men in their like safety vets. I assumed it was union.
Okay. I'm going to play the video that someone in our community edited.
Love it.
I don't know where Jen went. I'll wait till Jen gets back.
That man right there was staring at me holding the picture. He seen my picture. I told Jen I decided to pull it down because I didn't want them to think that was a picture of me on Greta. Because Jordan called me the other day and he was like, hey, I was like, hey, Jordan, like wondering why the hell is he calling me? And he was like, I'm going to repost your video because people are confused and they think that's you on Kratom. And I was like, what? What?
Your video went viral.
Did it?
Yours and Dave's video. And this Tennessee hearing is currently going viral.
Good. Got it. Because how could you see my before picture and after and not be like, you know, like, how can you not see that? I've lived true addiction. I've been through it.
Sorry, I had to go pee.
I have to. Okay.
I feel like this is like them telling me that my Earl Grey tea is bad for me. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. How it's like, you know, you shouldn't drink Earl Grey because.
I wish that, like, I really wish that we could just set these people down and give them 1 teaspoon of Kratom.
Yeah.
Each of them, and just be like, dude.
And they're gonna sit there and be like,
see,
wait, what? They're gonna be like, when is it supposed to start working? And it's gonna be like, that's the beauty of it. You don't get a feeling. There is no like, there's no euphoria. There's no. What do they say? They say it's a hallucinogenic. What?
I know.
Mind blowing.
Okay, I'll play this. This one is an amazing video that someone edited.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Davenport, I'm so sorry about your loss, but I could follow you. The other 5, I know the 2 of you are for this piece of legislation, the other 3 are not. But you all said so many words in your testimony, I really have no idea what you're talking about.
This is so good.
And so there were so many different things that you all had testified to on both sides, right? And my concern is that's the actual concern of either kratom, which how you pronounce it, or kratom, how the rest of you pronounced it. That's an issue, right?
Tomato.
Tomato. Tomato.
Because of what this thing does. My issue with this is the availability that's already in commerce, it's already here. You're asking for regulation, but you're too late. What?
God.
And so I think that what needs to happen, this needs to probably most likely come off the market. We figure out what it is. If you say there's mounds of research out there, a simple Google search doesn't tell me what kratom or kratom is. And neither one of you all have said what it actually is.
Kratom is a botanical in the coffee family that has been safely used for centuries in Southeast Asia and for decades by over 20 million individuals here in the United States.
Tylenol, when you go to a gas station, you're obviously going to treat a headache, right? I'm hearing words like morphine, opioids, and things like that, dopamines, and all these words y'all are saying that's usually in a controlled environment that's a very serious side effects to someone walking in to get gas that can get something like this that believes that they're going to cure all their ailments or all their pains.
Not cure, treat the symptoms.
So So my question is, what is it? Why is it?
Oh, hell no.
And is Kratom the end all of everybody's problems that suffer for particular conditions? Or do we have other things available that people can use that's already in the market, that's regulated, that helps?
The medications available to her cause sedation and actual gait instability. Those are risks that she just cannot take. Natural kratom is the only option that she can tolerate that helps her function safely.
That's, I think, the simple question that neither one of you all have addressed.
Included a chronic pain patient on their panel. And they wanted to make the point that even this is not an approved drug, people like her use it on a daily basis to manage pain, in some cases treating addiction. And that's what my colleagues are studying at Hopkins and the National Institute on Drug Abuse is studying. How do we...
On either side of it. So can one of you from the side that's against it let me know what the response is? Then one of you to the side that's for it, let me know what that response is. Does that make sense? Am I trying to be clear? Because I am very unclear as to what you all are trying to tell this committee.
Love it.
That's
love it, love it.
amazing. Dude, it's like
I love it too. I want to send her like an edible bouquet or something like that. Is so good. She did so good, and she's never like I've never wanted to kick somebody in there. You know what? So badly. Like I just want to watch him on his knees because
Can you imagine how he talks to his wife?
You know what I'm thinking is if we do a fundraiser for a PI, he's the first one we go after. Yeah. I'm nominating him because I guarantee you he's on the naughty list somewhere. I know he is. I know he is. And we are going to expose that. I'm not kidding, girls. I'm not kidding.
Dude,
they want to play like this. Y'all want to do this? What we can do is start to make the ones in the future a little scared about what they do before they do it.
Yeah.
Like, let's make them think a little bit twice before you guys. His mind was made up. He probably sits there right there with Hilton Haynes. They probably sit there and they have drinks outside. You know, I already know. Ugh.
It's just like, man,
I've never been in a situation where I'm sitting in on things like this, but seeing it has me so disgusted. I am so. What is the point of those people? And how much money do they make? They probably make so much money to give their opinion, because I Googled it. I Googled, can we sue? Not on this level, but there might be another level, but that's for another day. But you can't, because they're literally hired they're supposed to listen to their people, but at the end, they give whatever their opinion is. But they don't, why? So what's the point? So we're just hiring people based off their opinions? And I'm sorry, I'd like you to have an educated opinion.
Yeah.
I spent 3 seconds because, like I said before, if that man would have read even 5 emails, I guarantee you he didn't read not one email that was sent to him. I guarantee you that. If he would have even read 5, he would have understood what was being said. He would have had no problem understanding it had he have read the stories. He didn't read nothing. He doesn't care to read anything. He sits back on his high horse and collects a paycheck and decides on what he thinks is right and what's not, with doing zero research. If he was pro nicotine, he would be like, it is so good for you. It's going to give you energy and you're going to feel like this sense of calm. So no, we should not ban that. I don't know what you guys are talking about. All of these cancer studies that these top researchers have. No, I know better than them. You won't die if you smoke a cigarette. That's how stupid he sounds.
Yeah. Those are paid for by the industry.
It's not even nicotine that's the problem. It's what's in the butts of our cigarettes.
Yeah, exactly. But we know that because why? We listen to the science.
And they're not FDA approved, but they're FDA regulated, just like alcohol.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You know, and it's like
alcohol could make me, if I was to drink and get behind the wheel of a car, would kill somebody. If I took some kratom and got behind the wheel of a car, nothing's going to happen. Nothing.
Is that Ed right there?
Yeah, Ed's sitting right here. He's been listening the whole time.
Let me see Ed.
Hey, Ed. He's been sitting here. He supports all of us. He does. He sent in. He supports all of us. And that's why I say 100 times.
Yeah.
I know people in the comments might have not seen my before picture, but this man, I've been with him 26 years, you guys. Probably longer than some of y'all been alive. 26 years. 6 years ago, he put me in rehab when I was like about to die. He spent money. He allowed me to leave my family first. Not allowed me, like, you know what I mean? That's the wrong word, but like he gave me up to somebody else
supported you
to
through the
try
entire
to heal me.
process. Yeah.
Why in the world would he hand me his credit card when it's time for me to order? Why? If it was so bad, wouldn't he be like, you know what, babe, we're not doing this again. I see that you're having another problem. Because there is no problem. He reminds me to take my medication because he probably sees how much it helps me. He'll see when I start hurting more. Like, did you take your medication? Because that's what we call it. I don't know why, but I just call it my medication. It just started happening that way. It's not a medication, it's an herb, but that's what we call it. And he'll remind me, no husband after 26 years and watching what his wife went through would be like, yeah, here you go.
I put my husband through a few years of hell. Let me tell you something. And I know for a fact he would not. If I was at all inebriated on kratom and act like that.
The same goes for my daughters, you know, because my daughters are, you know,
5 more minutes.
I can't even think of their ages now. 26, 24, and my son is 21. You know, and it's like my daughters had to play mother to my son. You know, and it's like after I found kratom, I could see that they trust me again. They didn't have to worry about me again. I was able to get their credit cards. They didn't have to worry about me stealing money from their, you know, credit cards and debit cards.
Right. Yeah.
And your father-in-law is giving great testimony to that too. It's your father-in-law, right? Where he's giving testimony about your before person and who you are now. He's giving really good testimony. Those are the type of people, like, how do you hear these people that weren't even involved? Well, I don't know his history, but like Ed's never done, he's not a drug user. You know what I mean? Like, those are, what you think he's going to lie?
I love hearing Sherry's story when she talks about how her husband brought her kratom, and it's like, you know, when they stick through you through all that. I mean, I know when I used to get pretty blitzed off of alcohol, and I wouldn't even remember what the hell I said half the time the next day, but I knew I would feel so bad. But it's like, you know, they put up with it because they love us. You know what I mean?
Right.
At least,
and you know, my daughters, they could have went on so many different directions in their life, but they stood by me while I was, you know, freaking trapped in that addiction hell, you know. And I always joke around. I don't, you know, I've already popped my nails off, but I always say that I clawed my way out of addiction, which is why I wear the fake nails now. Which I can afford to do because my money's not going to drugs anymore, you know?
Yep. I keep saying,
like
if I'm going to be
to treat yourself with,
right,
you know?
right. If you're going to be addicted to anything, kratom's cheap as hell. I mean, I guess.
But 708 is not cheap, you know.
It's
and
not.
Those people.
And it's not cheap because it's just like a dealer. When you got a dealer and they see something is in demand, they increase the prices. You know, they got a good bag of smoke, they're going to increase their prices. What happens? That's what these gas station people are doing. It's a high demand, so now it's like $50 for 4 pills or however it works.
Yeah, you know. And I was just watching a show the other day, one of those new jail shows that's on Discovery, and they were sneaking in Suboxone in their damn pants, in the, what do you call the top part of your pants?
Like the waistband?
The waistband. They were sneaking Suboxone in with that. I am waiting for a jail video to come out saying that people are sneaking in 708, because you damn sure ain't gonna put no kratom powder in your waistband or up your hoo-ha.
People in prison would laugh at you if you were like, I got a little bit of Pure Leaf in my pocket. You want some? People would laugh. That's how funny it is. It's like, no, homie, I can get coffee from Canteen. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need your little kratom, because it's not like that. I think that's what frustrates me the most, is that I know the truth. Like, in my fullest being, I know the truth. And to hear anything other than that is like I said last week, I was like, well, maybe I'm gaslighting myself. Am I lying to myself? And I'm not.
No,
I'm not. I stopped taking it for 24 hours. Nothing happened. I was waiting for those big withdrawals to happen. Listen, my DNA is sitting on a couch somewhere in Ocean Shores, Washington, because when he paid, he's tried to get me sober a few times before I went to actual rehab. and he sent me to the ocean with my sisters and locked me in a hotel room. Let's just say my DNA is all over that hotel room because it was brutal. It was brutal. After like 4 hours, it started. I went 24 hours, probably longer than that with no kratom. And the only thing I felt was like my pain, and I felt a little uneasy, just like
I'm
not.
on any kratom right now. I don't. 9 times out of 10, I don't take it on Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays. I'm not on any kratom right now. You don't see me over here trying to claw my you don't see me having the freaking Hershey squirts.
Right. The Hershey squirts all over the place. And kicking, they call it kicking the habit because you thrash. I thrashed. I would kick and I would scream and just be so mad because you couldn't. It's horrible. I can't describe it. It is so horrible. And so to even attempt to put these two on the same level is insulting.
Yeah.
It's insulting, and it is pure lies. Am I allowed to dose on screen here, or is that a no-no?
Go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it. Shit, I don't care. And it's like, I used to, because my pills, I always say FDA approved pills because people automatically assume that when you're an addict, that you're a junkie off the street, that you're shooting up.
Not true. Mine started off of prescriptions.
Yeah. And so whenever I'd run out of my pills, like after 10 days of getting them or 10 to 14 days after getting them, for 2 weeks out of every month for 11 years straight, I would pretty much lock myself in my room because I was going through that freaking withdrawal hell. I didn't, my kids would see it, but I did not want them to see the full scope of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, plus you just didn't feel like doing
anything. I didn't feel like doing nothing.
Yeah. No
I didn't even take a shower.
Yeah, nothing.
Yep. Dee, I'm sorry that your family is going through that, man. Dave says, the only withdrawals that I had was when Jordan got me off of 7-OH, and they were mild because he knows what he's doing. Yeah, that's the other thing that the 7-OHers love to say is that, the legacy kratom vendors are going after 7-OH because it's market share. Like, if anything, their markets have gone up because the whole leaf kratom is what's helping the people get off of 7-OH.
Yep.
And that's why I used to have like a different view towards extracts, but understanding them a little bit more, I think that I'm okay with an extract because it might help somebody if they need a little bit more of something. But that's where I stop. I stop at extracts. I mean, nothing more than that, but I do understand that there probably is a need for that.
There is.
There's not a need for anything that causes you to rob a store.
I changed my stance on the extracts too. It's like, and the only reason why I did was because I saw how beneficial it is to get people off of the either illicit fentanyl or the 7-OH.
Right. That's where my stance started to come in. I started listening a little bit more, and I was like, okay, I can understand that. And the fact that it's an extract, but it doesn't cross the barrier of when we're going into 7-OH.
Right. Exactly. What I heard at the symposium is that the full spectrum extracts are kratom.
Yeah.
They are kratom.
Right.
Well, you can't. There's no offshoot to the kratom plant. It is kratom. It just doesn't have It
don't have all the alkaloids.
Some of them don't have all the alkaloids, but what it doesn't have is the risk of a contamination of the metals. The microbes or any of that other stuff. So.
An accident. Oh, I thought I disconnected. I was gonna say, ladies, it's been great, but I have got to get going.
We're about to get off here too. But thanks for joining us and everything, and I'll see you next week. And good luck on Monday. Keep me posted.
I'll be there on Monday. And if there's anything in particular you wanted printed off, Jen, just send it to me. And Tiffany said, she'd be willing to print things.
Okay.
But we will be up there at our House of Representatives passing out papers on Monday individually to each office.
A part of me was like, maybe I should try to get, collect donations to go again. But then the other part of me is like, what if that's just going to be a crapshoot again? Because, won't be able to testify.
Yeah, it's like going up there. It's like, I wish I was at least 1 hour closer because you just don't know, and it's like.
You don't know.
It's just a
I say,
lot.
Misty, I say, wait, let's see what happens next time and bring you in, when it's gonna, like, I don't know the whole
Well,
process.
if I gotta be handcuffed to the, you can come on
Right.
up there then, baby.
We'll handcuff each other to each other.
Yeah, we'll do that whole hippie thing where we handcuff each other on they handcuff each other on the tree.
Right.
Oh,
Well, we got this, ladies. We've got this.
yeah,
And we're not gonna quit showing up for all the other states too, because our voices need to be heard.
absolutely, yeah. All
All
right,
right, ladies.
Dave. Okay, well, bye, Kelly.
bye,
Bye,
Kelly.
guys. I appreciate everybody.
Have a good day.
You too, ladies. Bye.
Bye. I'm going to hold on.
Oh, wait.
I got her. I did it.
I was gonna say, I was just trying to figure out how do you do that on your own to get it off. But
I'm gonna go take my boy for a haircut, and we're gonna go get some new threads.
oh,
He
is
needs
that
some new
right?
shirt. He's done grown so tall. His shirts. He needs new shirts bad.
He needs those. He needs those tall boy shirts.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Seeing that, it's just, I mean, dude, I just always, I don't know. Like, I can't believe I had faith in anything after all the shit we've seen. But I was like, oh, surely Tennessee won't be like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boy, it's like, and these people are like my neighbors and my friends' friends, and like, that's what's sad. Like, wow, dude, wow, wow.
Sherry says if we're clear in Mississippi, I will try to come.
I actually, whenever Misty told me about Starkville, I looked at it. It's 3 hours for me, and I was like, man, because I was like feeling guilty because I didn't go to Nashville, and I was like, man, I wonder how far away that is. And then it was like 3 hours. I'm like, it's too much. But oh man, I tell you.
Okay. Yep. I'm gonna go chill with my daughter and wait for my other daughter to get off work and try to have a chill day tomorrow. Like I said, we are extremely busy Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
On Mondays, like I said, my daughters are off work Sundays and Mondays. And so I try to, spend as much time as I can with them, unless like on something popping off on Monday that I necessarily have to attend, like freaking
Yeah.
hearings.
And lately it's been hit or miss with Mondays.
Yeah. But normally it's Tuesday through Thursday. We are overwhelmed.
Yes.
Overwhelmed.
And then that's like by the time Friday, like yesterday, I was just like,
yeah. By the time Friday gets here, it's like we could take that breath of fresh air, but something might always something always does pop off.
We're
It's
like
just
firefighters.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's in Nashville.
Yeah, it's in Nashville.
I don't know exactly where you're at in Mississippi, but I don't know. I know it's about, I don't know. I'm bad with geography, so I'm not going to say anything because I know my mom's boyfriend lives in Jackson, Mississippi, and I can't remember any. I can't remember. I'm not going to say it because I don't know, so I'm not going to be wrong. All right.
Just hit up Jen in her messenger.
Yeah. Yeah. If anybody has any questions, hit me up. And I hope everybody enjoys the rest of y'all's weekend.
Yep. Enjoy your weekend. In the description, we will put we'll go ahead and throw this original hearing in there, and then we'll put the edited video in there.
Yeah, yeah.
That video some love. And then we'll do the protectkratom.org.
Yeah.
Tennessee.org thingy.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Good idea. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. They make a tiny thumbnail for this.
Yeah, I need to. Yeah.
Yeah.
South of Tupelo.
All right. Yeah, Sherry, just hit up Jen in her messenger.
Yeah, I love that video too. It's amazing. Man, Tupelo seems like it's close. Hold on before we get off. I just have to know now.
Gotta go look now, huh?
Because I'm like, hold on, that sounds like it's not very far. I know my best friend lives in like Pickwick, and it's like
what a name.
Pickwick Town. Let's see, Tupelo. Tupelo is an hour and 45 minutes for me. That's not too bad. But that's for me. Let me see how far it is.
It's like 3 hours to Nashville, 3 to 4 hours.
I hate how Google Maps is set up. What's her face? I meant to ask her. She told me about some other app you can use besides, whatever it is. All right, let's see. Yeah, if you did it from there, it would be like a 6-hour deal. It'd almost be like driving from Memphis to Nashville. And it always, like, the GPS says, oh, it'll be 4 hours. No,
No.
it's always longer. And I never like stop except for maybe once. You know, I'll stop on the rest areas, but I don't like to stop and get out and go eat. And I want to get there. So I need to just get a bus and come pick everybody up. Oh, that'd be cool. All right, everybody. Y'all have a good rest of y'all's day.
Other people bring their kids there.
Yeah, and I will say I watched the Senate hearing that they that they moved, and even the chair, that Garden Shire or whatever, the one that's sponsoring the bill, he even said, he's like, this is just a regular day. We got kids here. They're
Yes.
part of the legislation process today, and we're going to move on. It's no big
Yeah.
deal. So
Yeah, like if you watch that, like the hearing that we just watched, someone wheeled in their baby in a stroller.
yeah, but I know I'd be nervous too, like little ones. But yeah, that Garden Shire dude was super cool about it. I was like, I
Yeah.
kind of respect that dude.
Kinda.
Yeah, as long as, it may not even be as bad as you think, even if she is one. And I know a lot of times when they're one and they're real cute, people just start entertaining the kids. Yeah.
Yeah, they start flocking to them.
Yeah. But yeah, I say bring her on. It'll be fun. Maybe she'll bring us some good luck.
I know.
All right, but yeah, hit me up if anybody has any questions, and we'll talk to y'all later.
Bye, everybody.